All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna move into some injured shooter stuff. Like we said before, you're in a gunfight, gunfighter class. You're probably, hopefully not, but there's a possibility that you can be shot. But remember, if you're shot, you're not dead. And if you're dead, you won't know it. Okay, so let's work around the possibility of us being shot and losing an extremity, whether it be a hand, an arm, or something like that, whether it be our support hand, our support arm, or our strong hand and our strong arm. And let's learn how to shoot and manipulate our firearm. We're gonna shoot our firearm, manipulate it when it comes to reloads, and work on malfunctions when it comes to it with one hand. Hey, I'm Richie with Raw Tactics. What you're about to see is a snippet from the gunfighter class. And what we're covering here is how to manipulate your firearm while you are injured, either injured with your strong hand or injured with your support hand, or shooting, reloading, and fixing malfunctions with one hand only. All right, so we're gonna start with just firing a few rounds with our strong hand only, a few rounds with our support hand only. Now, there's a few ways that that you can do this. One is some people like just to lock out their arm and just have a normal shooting stance with it. Some people like to cant the gun and give a little bend in the elbow. I like having it out. For me, if I give a little cant in my elbow, when that gun recoils, it comes back a little too far for me to control. I like having it a little bit locked out, so when it recoils, it's just almost like a normal shot at that point. But it's up to you guys what you do. But your guys' mission now is to find a friend on the ground, name them, and you guys are gonna hold on to him with your support hand, or her with your support hand only. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna start delivering some rounds. You're gonna draw and you're gonna fire. You're gonna draw and fire 3 rounds to that H, using your strong hand only while holding your buddy in your left hand. Okay, so the up command will be given, be shooter ready, stand by.
Eyes and ears. Shooter ready. Stand by.
Ow.
Up.
Scan. All right, here we go. Make your guns hot if they're not. All right, shooters ready. Stand by. Up. Good, same thing, shooters ready. Stand by. Up. So what we're just demonstrating there is the portion to where your arm can't be used. Now you get shot in the hand, but you can still use your arm. You can still use your little nub that is left to help you support that gun. And that's why we're holding our friend here still. So eyes and ears. So when we're here and the gun's out, I can't grip my gun, but what I can do is I can still put some positive pressure with this nub of a hand that used to be against the firearm to still obtain my sights, obtain everything, and fire the gun as needed. Okay, so I can still put that pressure along there however I need in order to manipulate this firearm. Okay, now I'll be good for that, and we'll go from there. Okay, all right, shooters ready. Stand by. Up. Same thing, 5 rounds, shooter ready. Stand by. Up. So now let's get into reloads with our strong hand. You're gonna set it up to where there's a round in the chamber and an empty mag. So like your 1R2 drills. But now we're gonna do 1R1s, one reload, one. With our reloads, with our injured shooter, when we shoot, eyes and ears. When we fire, the gun goes dry. Drop the magazine. Holster. Insert. Gun up. Slide release. If you don't have the slide release, there's a couple options for you. One, you can use your gear, so like your holster, you can use your MRDS or your iron sights in order to rack. Now remember when you're here, if you're racking this, not to be pointing backwards, sideways, or at your feet. Use a piece of your gear in order to rack that slide for you. So I'm gonna put pressure against this MRDS, push it back, and then let that slide go forward. Up on target, acquire, and fire as needed. If you don't need to do that, after it's inserted, hit your magazine release, you're back on target for you to fire. All right, on the command of up, you're gonna draw, fire one round to the H circle. Reload with your strong hand only. As we talked about, holster, drop the magazine, holster, reinsert magazine, close the slide, and deliver one more round to the H circle. Shooter's ready. Stand by. Up! All right, set it up again. Remember, 1R1, 1R1, one round after you reload, one round after you reload. All right, here we go, same thing. You have the option, you can choose to hold your rock and make a stub or pretend your arm is completely inoperative and just shoot with one arm. It's up to you. Shooter's ready. Stand by. Up! All right, one more time, set it up. All right, here we go, shooter ready. Stand by, up. All right, now we're going to where our strong hand is gone. Our strong hand is gone. We'll start from the holster here. Strong hand is gone. Before the gunfight even started, you got shot in your strong hand, strong arm. We got to get this gun out of our holster with our support hand and deliver rounds. And we'll move into reloads and everything else from thereafter. Okay, so like Gonzo said, if you can't see, make sure you get to somewhere where you can see. So right here, our friend is in our strong hand. Left or right hand became inoperable. There's two ways we can get this gun out of the holster and into our support hand. First way is from the standing position. We're here. We disengage, we be careful where we put our fingers. Disengage the safety. Gun comes out. I grab the entire grip of the firearm. I twist it. I put it between my knees. I reacquire my grip. I get my sight picture and I deliver my rounds onto the target. Reholstering, same way, between the knees. Good grip, all your fingers. So there's no fingers going anywhere near the trigger well, and back into the holster. Now tell the people who want to look at their holster to do that without looking. Okay? Second way is, if you're working behind some sort of cover or barrier, I can drop down to my knees, come around, still all fingers on the grip, gun on the ground, gun up, and then acquire from there. Okay, same thing, putting it back in the holster, gun on the ground, twisted, all my fingers are on the grip, and then back into the holster. Defeat the retention, all my fingers on the handle, gun comes up, I twist away from me, so I put the barrel between my knees, grab, acquire my grip, and then come up on target. putting away, same thing. Between the knees, all my fingers now grip the handle, comes up, and reinserts into the holster. All well, this hand is inoperable. All right, on the command of up, you will draw your firearm. Fire 3 rounds to the H circle, 3 rounds, and then reholster. Remember, move at the speed that you can control with this. When you're gripping the gun in and out of the holster, you're using all your fingers around that grip. You don't have to worry about indexing or anything like that. No fingers should be anywhere around the trigger well, the trigger guard, the trigger, whatever it is that you want to call it, at any time when you're maneuvering this gun back and forth, especially between your knees. All right, here we go. Shooters ready. Stand by. Up. Good job. All right, easy peasy, right? All right, let's do it again. 3 rounds to the H circle. Shooter ready. Stand by. Up. Now let's move into reloads with our support hand only. It's going to be the same exact thing as you did with your firearm, but with your support hand now. The only difference is racking on the holster may be a little bit trickier, may be a little bit different, but we can still do that. The first way, if you didn't see, is when that slide was back, tapped on your thigh, racked with my arm. If you have an optic. If you don't have an optic, that's not an option for you. You need to find a piece of gear, whether it be a holster, whether it be a piece of your magazine carrier in front of you, on the side of you. You can also drop down. Be careful what your backdrop is. You can start using pieces of your shoe in order to rack this slide as well. Okay, that racks when it comes to it, using the slide, so on and so forth. We're not going to do that shoe method here, but it is an option for you. Find a piece of your gear that's clear, your feet are out of the way, you're not flagging your partners, and you can rack the slide that way if needed when it comes to your support hand. Any questions? All right, cool. So let's set it up. 1 round in the chamber, empty mag. Shooter ready. Stand by. Up. Drop the magazine. I'll show another way in a minute. Second option. We're firing, bang, 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 bang. We drop the magazine between the legs. Magazine inserted. Gun back up, either with my index finger, with my slide release, or on a piece of equipment, and then I'm firing from there. Okay, second option for you guys. Any questions? All right, let's do that. Stand by. Up. All right, let's move into some malfunctions real quick with one hand. Okay, you can move your friend back to your support hand. So what we're gonna do, a couple different malfunctions we'll go over. Failure to fire and double feed. Okay, and how we're gonna fix both of those with one hand. We'll start with the failure to fire. So the way you set this up, hopefully it's set up right. Nothing in the chamber, full mag, or whatever you have left in your magazine. So on the command of up, You'll draw. You'll come up. You'll fire. The gun will go click. What is the correct way to fix the type 1 malfunction failure to fire? Tap rack. Okay, so what are we tapping on? Okay, we need to tap that magazine, tap our knee, anything that's meaty, thigh, knee, whatever, up, tap that in, rack, on target, fire. Scan, and reholster. Tapping on that knee is going to be key, but we're still keeping that gun pointed downrange the entire time. I'm not tapping it like this or on my side. It's almost like I'm kneeing the magazine. The knee is coming up as I am forcing that gun down. You are smacking the knee is attacking the gun is attacking the knee. Smacking that magazine in there, racking it, and fire. Full mag in, nothing in the chamber. All right, shooters ready. Stand by. Up. All right, shooters ready. Stand by. Up. All right, so let's move into a double feed. Okay, what are the causes of a double feed? Say that again. Okay, gun could be dry. What else? Failure to extract. Okay, so your extractor's all messed up. Could be a magazine issue, dirty gun, a bunch of things. But the double feed, when we set it up, the way you set it up is you just can take, you don't need to put any of this other old brass in your guys' gun. Just take a bullet, chamber open, throw it inside, put in a magazine, close the slide. Now the gun has the double feed. Okay, there's a bullet or a casing in the chamber, and the gun tried to load another round in there at the same time. Guys, go ahead and set that up now. Chamber open, put the bullet in there, and then let the slide go after you put in a full magazine. All right, so what's the first step in fixing the double feed? Okay, so I'm here in tap rack, I'm here in drop the magazine. What are we doing? Rip the magazine. Okay, who here is locking the slide back first? Is it an option? Yeah, it's an option. Okay, but ripping that magazine, we'll start with that. So there's a problem though with ripping a magazine when you only have one hand. And what's that problem? The ripping is pretty damn hard. Okay, other than putting that gun back in the holster and trying to push on your magazine release and rip out the magazine at the same time is pretty tough. So usually 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 out of 10, when you have that double feed, I'm pushing on my magazine release right now and it's not coming out because there's so much tension up here that magazine is not coming out. That's why you have to rip it out when you have two hands. So how do we get this magazine out when we only have that one hand? And it's going to be pretty much the same as what we did when we were tap racking with our knee. But this time our forearm is striking our knee or our thigh, and we are kneeing our forearm at the same time while pushing on that magazine release at the same time to get this out. So step 1, press on the magazine release, smack your thigh, magazine comes out. The slide went forward. Can this be a good round? Can it not be a good round? It's up to you. If you want to take the chance of shooting now before or after you reload and shooting that round that's in there and having a click, that's up to you. But from here, what we need to do now is we need to rack out probably what's old in there. Could be a casing, could be something fucked up. So we're here, back on here, rack, 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 back on the holster. New magazine comes out, inserted. The slide is shut now. We cannot use the slide release anymore to reload. Find a piece of gear, go against it, come up on target and fire, growing hot, and fire in order to deliver your rounds. Scan and reholster. The drill will start. You'll be on the 5-yard line. On the command of up, you'll draw. You'll fire 1 round to the H circle, 1 round to the H circle. The command comes up, up, up. Observe, double feed, magazine release, smack, rack, holster your gun, reload, gun out, rack the slide, deliver your 1 round, scan, and holster. Any questions? Shooters ready. Stand by. Up. Good job. Grab your gear, set it back up. Grab your gear, set it back up. Make sure when you guys are smacking your leg that gun is still pointed down range. It's not pointed over towards your partners on the line. All right, shooter ready. Command of up, fire 1 round to the H circle, 1 round to the H circle. All right, shooters ready. Stand by. Up. All right, here we go. 1 round to the H, 1 round to the H. Shooters ready. Stand by. Up. There you go. Good job. Good job. All right, any questions on that? It's the same thing with the support hand. You know, we don't need to work on that. It's the same thing with your support hand. You're holding that magazine release down, but you're just not doing it with your thumb. You're probably doing it with a middle finger or an index finger, and you're smacking down, going between the knees, racking, and all that stuff you guys did when you were support hand only. Are there any questions on injured shooter, reloads, shooting, or malfunctions? Any questions? Good. All right, let's go reload full. We have one more thing to do, and then we'll debrief and get you guys out of here. You guys can drop your friend now if you want, or you can take it as a souvenir. Help clean this place up.